Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Star Flames, and we're back with another video. In this video, we're gonna do a breakdown of Kanye West and Bianca Censori timeline relationship. TMZ has a beautiful report out, and we're gonna dive into it. However, before I dive into this report, let me say, because I have to just, come up with some kind of clarity on each video, because social media is so filled with flying monkeys. People, they're just trolling at this point in time. And sometimes I have to block these trolls, because once you're defeating the purpose of the channel or content, yeah, you have to be blocked. And I'm not talking about people who have difference of opinion, who states their difference of opinion respectfully. I'm talking about people who are just being straight up trolls and flying monkeys. Because if I'm, as a content creator, I do a video, and every video that I do, I'm calling out Ye, and every video that I do, I'm hating on Kim. Ye and Kim is not the problem. I am. As I've always said, I'm always balanced in my delivery. If Ye is doing bad, I'm gonna call him out. I'm gonna talk about it. If he's doing good, he's gonna get a credit that he deserves. And I realize that this is something that many people may not be accustomed to. Seems as though it's new territory for a lot of people. If it's new territory for you, if you haven't seen that any creator like that, I mean, it's always okay to welcome something new. It's not hurtful, So I'm just saying, if there's something good to be talked about when it comes to Ye, Bianca, I'm gonna say it. But I'm not gonna support his nitrous oxide use. I'm not gonna support him trashing and bashing, attacking, and abusing every individual, and then say, yes, he should say what he wants to. And then when others say what they want to in reaction to what he says, people are upset. Like, how does it make sense? How is it that you should only be the one talking and no one should be reacting and giving their difference of opinion? He's lashing out against people, race, religion, class, color, and creed. So why is it that someone should not give him the same energy? And when they do, that person is being hateful, when Ye is the one who's literally being hateful, and we're just reacting to the hate. I tell you, double standards, it's so real. But let's get into this information, shall we? Because as you guys know, Ye and Bianca, they're currently out there in Spain, Mallorca, Spain to be specific. I'm learning that he should be undergoing some, detoxing program, treatment, and all of that. But I'm also learning that he's desisting from doing them. Like, he promised he promised Bianca that, yeah, when we go to Mallorca, I'm gonna see the specialist and we're gonna do all that needs to be done. But no, from a little birdie, he's pushing back. I don't know how factual that is. But Milo is not going to stick around if he refuses and continue to refuse the treatment. And Bianca is going to stick around because she's getting paid to be an enabler, it seems. And she could very well be a handler, because before things got this bad, we've been hearing that Bianca is his handler. And to hear that and to see it kind of playing out, you know that something is not right. Maybe we don't have all the information. But from what we have, judging from the information that we have, Bianca is not looking good at this point in terms of being what a wife should be, or should I say, a wife without an agenda. She's given a wife with an agenda, and the agenda seems to be worse than that of a Kim Kardashian and her family. But let's get into this, right? Because, as you know, Bianca Censori, she started out at Yeezy as the head architect of Yeezy Designs, right? We know all of that. Now, with this report, they're saying Kanye West and Bianca Censori, watch us lay our relationship and our bodies bare. Oh my God. I don't know what's going on. I think they're gonna do a documentary piece on Ye and Bianca, because TMZ has been doing that a lot lately. They go in to talk about the Las Vegas birthday. Actually, they're doing a video. They don't talk about it in the report. They basically go in to talk about the birthday, celebration. They go in to talk about EA going off on the paparazzis and him basically almost getting into a fight with a gentleman. They say Kanye West and Bianca Censori haven't shied away from showing off their romance in public, laying it as bare as Bianca body in one of her mesh outfits. The attention-grabbing couple drew eyes back in January 2023, and the news that they'd actually marry in a small ceremony came out shortly after. Yes, and that's the time when many people were disputing that they weren't married. But it was then later revealed that the marriage was, real, licensed, and they just hid all their information. I wish things would have stayed like that, and you would have just kept going on the positive side. But the moment that things got positive, the moment that he was able to build back his empire, and have all of that money, then he switched side. He switched over to the dark side because you could be out here being rebellious. He could be out here exposing a lot without being hateful. He could be out here saying, you know what? The swastika is not harmful. It's a historic symbol that has been used over the centuries, because we have a lot of philosophers. We have a lot of people that teaches us about these things, but do you see them going off and say, this people did this and this people did that? He could be out here calling out the Jewish community for freezing his funds. He could be doing that. But does he need to be hateful in the midst of all of it and generalizing in the midst of all of it? Absolutely not. And that's where the danger comes in. Calling Kim Kardashian a ugly white woman after that woman gave you 4 beautiful kids, that should take away from all the ugly that she has. If you're talking about physical attraction, if you're talking about other qualities, you know her better than, we do, and you chose to go ahead and procreate with her. So that's really out of our control zone. And then for him to be calling Jay-Z and Beyonce's kids retard while he himself is a madman, isn't that kind of double standard? You're talking about a defect on one end while you have a defect, and you with a defect no one should be more understanding than you with a defect, right? So he does these things to basically cause chaos, drama, sell music, sell whatever he's coming with. And you should not be able to inflict pain and insults on others to sell whatever and get away with it, because he doesn't need to do that. He's too talented to be stooping so low. He's too smart to be stooping so low. So he should be held accountable. Now, TMZ got in to say, while at first she was merely Kanye's wife, Bianca quickly became a household name in her own right, rising to fame for her fashion sense as she and Ye trapezed across Europe together that summer. So that was the summer that the Daily Mail went off putting out all the false narrative and fake reports about Ye and Bianca. And we were there fighting for him, providing clarity to a lot of the things that they have been saying and a lot of lies that they have told. But once Ye switches, why should we go down into that deep dark pit with you, You guys have to realize what is going on here and help to pull your brother back. Help to pull your icon back. Help to pull your God back, Because if you love him that much, why are you helping him to dig the ditch to bury himself? Like, aren't you guys listening? Propofol. Propofol killed Michael Jackson, Aaron Carter, and a few other celebrities, coupled with nitrous oxide. You cannot fuel those behaviors. You're only killing your icon, But let's continue. They're saying at the beginning of 2025, Kanye and Bianca relationship went off the rails, with sources telling us Kanye's offensive social media posts proved too much for his better half. Check out the clips to see each big moment in their relationship. Bianca's even wearing clothes in some of vids. In others, not so much. So this is basically them showing you a video, giving you a little bit of a timeline on Ye and Bianca. Well, so much for those good old days. It's going to take a lot of branding, someone who is willing to work with them to help build back their brand if they are willing to build back their brand, because the only time Ye is forced to change is when everyone comes together and hold him accountable. So, if you guys want him to be clean, and if you want that college dropout Ye again, or if you want a version that is close to that Ye, you guys are going to have to come together and say, okay, we're going to have to put you on a little bit of pause over here, my brother, until you get the much needed help. I'm not going to help Kanye to become Kodak Black because that's literally what he's becoming, Kodak Black, and many people cannot even see it. So for those who want to help him to become Kodak Black, you can do that, but I'm choosing consciously and wisely to help him get back to the best version of himself. Choosing consciously to help him elevate the energy to something more positive. He can always call up people. He can always speak his mind. But imagine the internet is trusting someone who is telling the world that he hasn't seen his son since the start of 2025. But there he was in Tokyo, Japan with his son, January 2020. January 25 of 2025. You can't trust people like those, You have to be very careful. So you have to be careful what you listen to coming from his mouth. And a lot of the things that he's convincing people happened in his life, they did not happen. How he's telling people that, friends turned their backs on him, friends backstabbed him. No, those are not the story. But some people know, some people are on the internet, speaking the true version, but not many people pay attention to the truth, because who wants to hear the truth in a world so filled with lies? Do you guys remember years ago, Kanye was the positive opposite of this version? Like, he was the guy who would talk about, inviting others into your bedroom and it being a sin against God, and how the media brainwashes the kids, and how the songs are dirty and toxic. That was Kanye years ago. So you're telling me that seeing Kanye going from all that positive, beautiful love and light to this level of darkness, and you're going to follow him and not pull him back over to the light? Oh my God, it seems as though you guys are singing Sexy Red song. Don't save me. I don't want to be saved. But anywho, kudos to you all. Like, some people literally want me to play that tune behind ye. Go, Kylie, go. As it relates to, helping him to support this bad behavior. I'm sorry, not sorry. That's not going to happen. Not on my watch. I'm going to help to pull him back, and I'm going to say what you're doing is crap. What's it is crap. But it's your time to chime in. Let me know what's your take while you're at it. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. Do all you need to do on this video to help your girl. Peace.